Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. I wanted to talk to you about a bag of Doritos that my wife found at our local Costco, Supreme Cheddar. She was surprised to see that these particular Doritos didn't have any monosodium glutamate in them. It's a common ingredient that we've seen in pretty much all flavors of Doritos listed in the ingredients. So what was it about these that wasn't like the common nacho cheese as you see here? When we turn the bag over and look at the ingredients in the nacho cheese, we see monosodium glutamate clearly listed in the list of ingredients here. But when we actually look in these Supreme Cheddars, brand new flavor, monosodium glutamate is not listed as an ingredient anywhere on the bag. But don't be fooled, people, because Frito-Lay is just fooling you by not putting that ingredient in there. Sodium caseinate here, after doing some research, I did find out is the same thing as monosodium glutamate. So what is monosodium glutamate and why is it bad for us? Monosodium glutamate is known to be linked to fibromyalgia, obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high insulin and blood sugar, thinking diabetes, fatty liver, disturbance to the gut-brain connection, metabolic syndrome, liver toxicity, and neurological damage and brain damage. My sources are there for where I got all this linked to. So again, let's talk about what is M.S.G specifically. It stands for monosodium glutamate, as I've already mentioned that ingredient. M.S.G is just short for it. Now, most foods naturally have amino acids. Okay, and most people have the ability to break down the natural amino acids that come in natural foods without any kind of problem. But when they take one molecule of sodium and add it to the amino acid during the food processing, you have MSG. Mono means one, sodium, and then glutamate, which means the amino acid, monosodium glutamate. Take natural amino acids, which the body can break down. When those are changed to MSG during the processing, they're much more difficult for the human body to digest and process. Now, changing the natural amino acids in foods to a form of MSG can make a food that would otherwise taste bland or even disgusting to suddenly taste delicious and amazing. And that's why they do it. The MSG causes nerve stimulants to overfire, basically tricking your brain into thinking a food tastes divine when it might otherwise think it was gross, if it wasn't for the high levels of MSG causing overfiring of your nerves. Now, even health foods found for sale which have any kind of processing can have MSG. The FDA does not require that manufacturers list MSG as an ingredient unless the MSG is 99% pure MSG. So foods can be labeled organic and be found in health food stores and still have very high levels of the toxic MSG. The following ingredients are commonly seen in these health foods: hydrolyzed vegetable protein, textured vegetable protein, and yeast extract. So pretty scary when you look at what the MSG can be found in. And here's just some of the hidden names for MSG. There's actually over 40 hidden names that they can actually disguise MSG as. So, you know, as you get more common with these names, you know, if you study these and look at these, you'll kind of see these. So let's go ahead and go to our local supermarket and figure out how you avoid this MSG. What you want to do is avoid all the center aisles where the heavy processing is. Any kind of heavily processed food is not good for us. And you'll find that a lot of this MSG is in a lot of this processed food that you'll look at. It's pretty sad that they can disguise it as so many different ingredients. It makes it really hard, especially when you're shopping in the store. But if you look in this box of crackers, you see one of the yeast extracts. You look at the ingredients of Hamburger Helper, you're also going to find forms of monosodium glutamate. It's right there, listed in bold, or before ricotta cheese at the top. In Hamburger Helper, you're going to find it in breads, processed breads. You're also going to find bad ingredients like high fructose corn syrup as well. High fructose corn syrup is another really bad ingredient that I'll save for another whole video. But a lot of these processed ingredients you're not going to want to eat in your food. And it's pretty much in all these, you know, foods that you're going to find throughout the center of your stores, which sadly is about 90% of your store. I mean, you go to the store, you buy a frozen pizza thinking maybe you're doing better than going to the fast food place or better than Pizza Hut, and just look at the list of ingredients here found in these overly processed foods. And even when you go and you look for the health food section in the frozen section, you look at like Healthy Choice frozen dinners and that kind of thing. You'll look here, most of the ingredients might look okay, but you see yeast extract right down at the bottom there. That is a form of MSG. So what you really want to do is try to stay on the outside of your store. Look for the wholesome meats. Stay away again from the middle aisles of your store, which again is going to be most of your store. On the outside edges, you should find your fresh fruits and vegetables like these apples here, and other forms of fruits and vegetables that you can buy. That aren't going to be nearly as highly processed as the stuff in the boxes and frozen dinners and stuff like that. Or better yet, shop at places like your local fresh fruits and vegetable stands. That's going to be a good way to avoid getting all the high processed chemicals and ingredients in your foods. Staying with the least processed foods and even with meats, grass-fed meats is going to be your best choice. Even though you're going to spend a little bit more money, you're talking about your health here. And one thing I do suggest is when you're out shopping, avoid the temptation to fall into the advertisements for fast food places like this. Also not good for you. Anyway, this has been Zaxter99. Hopefully I've helped somebody out. Be sure you leave your comments down below. Be sure you subscribe. Be sure you share this video. I do want to thank you for watching. Have a good night or day, depending on what it is when you're watching this now. And again, thanks for watching.